Hey, what's cooking? Today I want to show you a simple, soft, and exquisite egg dish, the Chinese steamed egg. Look at that. Have you seen anything that's so soft and smooth and bouncy at the same time like this? It's great and all when it's cooked right, but if you use too much heat while cooking this dish, you'll probably end up with honeycombs in your steamed egg. Although it doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. Oh God! Isn't it disgusting? I mean, can you even imagine yourself sinking a spoon into this tough and unappealing monstrosity? But don't worry, because I'm going to show you the best and easiest way to cook this dish while avoiding this kind of horrifying failure. In my opinion, that's the only way someone can completely mess up this dish. So follow my recipe and your steamed egg is gonna come out great, guaranteed. But before I start talking about the recipe, let me give you some cultural background of this dish. When I was little, my mom used to cook me this dish a lot. I used to see this dish frequently served at my college cafeteria in China, and although it's a rare find, it's also served at some of my local Chinese restaurants here in the USA. It's so loved by people all over China that it even has different names referred to by people from different provinces. Not only that, it's so popular that it even has cousins in its neighboring countries. One may notice its stunning resemblance to the Japanese version. In fact, it is believed that this dish was brought to Japan roughly 200 to 400 years ago. Now let's get down to cooking. Unsurprisingly, to make this dish, you'll need eggs, water, and salt. I'm using 2 parts water to 1 part eggs by volume because that's the consistency I like the most. If you're crazy about softness, you can try 3 parts water to 1 part eggs, or 1 part to 1 part if you like it tough. But remember that if you put too much water in there, your steamed egg may not solidify. When you have the volume of eggs and water combined measured in milliliters, divide that by 100 and you'll end up with how much salt you'll be needing, measured in grams. For example, if you have 200 milliliters of combined liquid, then put 2 grams of salt in there. This helps bring out the taste of the eggs and should by no means make the steamed egg taste salty. One of the reasons I love this dish is because it's really easy to customize it to your liking. It's a common practice to add some extra ingredients to make the dish more interesting. It's common to see seafood added to steamed egg, but really anything's gonna work. Shrimp, scallop, minced meat, use your imagination. Finally, we'll be using some green onions for a garnish, and some soy sauce and sesame oil for some added flavor. Another reason I love this dish is because this recipe is very easy to scale up. My college cafeteria used to serve this dish on a baking dish cooked with a convection steamer. No matter if you're cooking this dish for just yourself or for a party of people, the same recipe will apply to either case. First step, beat eggs in a measuring cup. Next, add water and salt to the egg mixture. Stir well. Pour the mixture into a bowl through a strainer. This helps remove bubbles forming on the surface for a better presentation. Add extra ingredients to the mixture. Then cover the bowl with plastic wrap. There are 3 common ways to avoid the honeycomb texture: controlling the heat of your stove, ventilation, covering up the container. I personally prefer the third way because the first 2 are not as foolproof as the third. Accurate temperature control can be fairly difficult without knowing the BTU number of your stove. By covering up the container, we will have so much room for error that your steamed egg is still gonna be great even if you use maximum heat. If you don't have plastic wrap for some reason, covering with aluminum foil or with a plate will be perfectly fine too. Next, preheat a steamer filled with water and steam over low heat for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, Remove the plastic wrap and sprinkle chopped green onions on top. Finally, drizzle some sesame oil and soy sauce over the steamed egg to taste. Make some slits on the steamed egg to make the flavor get inside, and your beautiful steamed egg is done. Now you know how to prevent the honeycomb texture. But what's causing the honeycomb texture in the first place anyways? To understand this, it helps to know some numbers. To begin with, eggs typically start to coagulate at around 63 degrees Celsius. 72 degrees is the temperature at which a type of bacteria called Salmonella are killed, making eggs safe for consumption. Finally, at 100 degrees, water starts boiling and steam bubbles start forming. And yes, you guessed it right. It's the steam that's drilling holes in our soft and delicate steamed egg. And on top of that, the more moisture escapes from the steamed egg and becomes steam, the tougher the steamed egg will be when it comes out of the steamer. Now, we know that we don't want our steamed egg to boil, and we don't have to worry about undercooking, knowing that an internal temperature of 72 degrees is enough. One of the things we can actually do is slowing down heat transfer, thereby keeping the temperature constantly under 100 degrees while cooking. We know that steaming is a fairly efficient method of cooking, mostly because of convection. And by covering the bowl with plastic wrap, we're basically cooking the steamed egg with only conduction, which is much less efficient than convection in this case. Of course, there are other ways of preventing the honeycomb texture, but they're all doing the same thing. That is, stopping the steamed egg from boiling. And that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope it was helpful to you in some way. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bon appétit!